Why is it so hard to change, even when we truly want to? Pause. Why do we promise ourselves, tomorrow I'll start, and tomorrow never comes? Nearly 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February. Think about that. Millions of people begin the year with hope, and within weeks, that hope fades. Maybe you've felt this. You decide to wake up early, to quit scrolling late at night, to start exercising, to finally write that book. For a few days, you feel powerful, motivated, disciplined. And then, something small happens. You miss one day. You feel tired. You start again next week. And slowly, you return to the same patterns. For years, I thought the problem was willpower, that some people simply had more discipline than others. But what if the problem isn't your willpower? What if the problem is the size of the step? Today, I want to share a quiet philosophy from Japan called Kaizen, a method so small, it almost feels insignificant. And yet, it rebuilt industries. It transformed companies like Toyota. And it can rebuild your self-discipline too. This is the story of a man who tried to change everything and failed until he learned how to change just 1%. I once knew a man. Let's call him Tokoki. Tokoki was 30 years old, intelligent, capable, ambitious. He had shelves filled with productivity books, podcasts saved, Notion templates perfected, a calendar color-coded down to the hour. He didn't lack knowledge, lacked movement. Every Sunday night he planned the perfect week. Monday morning he felt unstoppable. By Wednesday, he was exhausted. By Friday, he was disappointed in himself. And Sunday came again. I just need the perfect routine, he would say. This time will be different. He wasn't lazy, and he was overwhelmed. Psychologists call this analysis paralysis. When the brain becomes overloaded with options, it freezes instead of acting. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Research showed that when people are presented with too many choices, they are less likely to take action at all. Too much possibility becomes pressure. Tokoki tried to leap mountains, but he never took a single step. Late at night, he would scroll on his phone, promising himself that tomorrow would be the real beginning. Have you ever done that? That quiet negotiation with yourself? I deserve this break. I'll make up for it tomorrow. The cycle wasn't laziness, it was friction, and friction, when repeated long enough, becomes identity. I guess I'm just not disciplined. That sentence is heavier than we think. The turning point didn't come dramatically. It came quietly. Tokoki missed an important deadline at work. His manager didn't yell. That almost made it worse. There was disappointment in the air. Around the same time, he noticed his health declining. He felt tired more often, sluggish, distracted, and beneath all of it was shame. Not because he failed once, but because he didn't trust himself anymore. He didn't lack motivation. He lacked a system. One evening, he visited an older mentor, a former colleague who had always seemed calm, grounded, disciplined without effort. After listening quietly, the mentor asked him a strange question. Can you do one push-up a day? Tokoki laughed. That won't change anything. The mentor smiled. That's the point. He didn't understand at first, but that question would change everything. The mentor introduced him to Kaizen. Kaizen means change for the better. After World War II, Japan faced massive economic devastation. Instead of relying on dramatic transformation, Japanese industries embraced continuous small improvements. At Toyota, workers were encouraged to suggest tiny process refinements daily, not revolutionary changes, small, incremental upgrades. Over time, these small improvements compounded. The result? One of the most efficient production systems in the world. But Kaizen isn't just industrial, it's psychological. When we attempt drastic change, the brain resists. Dr. Robert Maurer, author of One Small Step Can Change Your Life, explains that tiny actions bypass the brain's fear response. Large goals activate the amygdala, the part responsible for threat detection. Big change feels dangerous. Small change feels safe. One push-up does not threaten your identity. 2 minutes of reading does not overwhelm your nervous system. Small actions avoid resistance, and consistency beats intensity. There's a concept in behavioral science known as the aggregation of marginal gains. Popularized in sports performance, it suggests that improving many small things by just 1% leads to remarkable overall results. A river does not break stone by force, it breaks stone by persistence. Tokoki began with one push-up, not 10, not a workout routine, just one. And something unexpected happened. He did it. Every day. Let me break this down into 4 simple principles. 1. Make it so small, it feels easy. If it feels ridiculous, it's small enough. 1 push-up, 1 sentence written, 2 minutes of meditation. The key is lowering the barrier until your brain says, "Fine, I can do that." In fact, research from Stanford behavior scientist B.J. Fogg suggests that behavior change happens when motivation, ability, and prompt converge. If motivation is low, increase ability. Make the action easier, not bigger, easier. You are not building strength, you are building trust. 2. Remove friction. Environment shapes behavior more than motivation. Place your book on your pillow, put your running shoes by the door. Delete the most distracting apps from your home screen. Studies from Duke University estimate that about 40% of our daily actions are habits, automatic responses to cues in our environment. If your phone is beside your bed, you will scroll. If your notebook is open on your desk, you are more likely to write. Discipline becomes easier when the path is clear. Don't rely on motivation. Design your environment. 3. Focus on identity, not results. Instead of saying, "I want to run a marathon," say, "I am becoming someone who doesn't skip workouts." Instead of, "I want to write a book," say, "I am becoming someone who writes daily." This idea was popularized in modern habit discussions by James Clear. Every small action is a vote for the type of person you believe you are. When Daniel did one push-up, he wasn't training his body. He was casting a vote. I am someone who keeps promises. Over time, identity becomes stable, and behavior follows identity. 4. Never miss twice. Missing once is human. Missing twice becomes a pattern. Life will interrupt you. You will get sick. You will forget. But return quickly. Perfection is not required. Return is. This principle protects momentum, because habits are not broken by failure. They are broken by abandonment. If you want to apply this today, here's a simple structure. Day 1 to 2. Choose one habit, only one. Shrink it to 2 minutes. Day 3 to 4. Track completion, not performance, completion. Did you show up? Day 5 to 6. Increase slightly, maybe from 1 push-up to 3, from 2 minutes to 4. Day 7. Reflect, not judge. Ask yourself, did I keep my word? How do I feel about myself this week? Daniel's 1 push-up became 3. 3 became 5. After 3 weeks, he was doing full workouts. But the deeper change wasn't physical. It was psychological. He no longer negotiated with himself. He just began. 3 months later, his life didn't look dramatic. There was no viral success, no overnight transformation. But something subtle had shifted. He woke up slightly earlier. He exercised consistently. He wrote a page a day. More importantly, he trusted himself. Self-discipline is not about force. It is about alignment. Big goals create fear. Small actions create safety. Nature does not rush. Yet everything is accomplished. A tree grows millimeter by millimeter. A mountain forms grain by grain. Why do we expect ourselves to transform overnight? Daniel stopped trying to become someone new. He simply became slightly better. Every day. Let's return to you. What habit is quietly hurting your future? Is it late-night scrolling, procrastination, avoiding difficult conversations, neglecting your health? What is the smallest possible version of improvement? Can you read one sentence tonight? Do one push-up? Write one line? Can you show up for 2 minutes? Ask yourself, if I improve just 1% each day, where would I be in a year? What identity am I reinforcing right now? Am I building trust with myself or breaking it? Change does not require drama. It requires continuity. Start tiny. Remove friction. Focus on identity. Never miss twice. Small steps, quiet discipline, lasting change. If this message resonated with you, write your 1% habit in the comments. Share this with someone who keeps waiting for Monday. And subscribe if you want more philosophy for practical living. Be present, walk with honor, follow the path,